Hello everybody, my name's Nerdy Lover and welcome to another episode of our football betting show here on YouTube, Serie A edition. Last week we continued our good form in October, going 3 for 4. We're going to quickly recap these games before we get into our 4 selections for this episode. The weekend 15th and 16th of October. Starting off with Milan versus Juventus, we took under 2.5 goals, and despite some dodgy goalkeeping from Wojciech Szczesny to hand Milan a 2-goal lead, a third goal was not forthcoming. We did pick up £15 and 60 pence in that one. Unfortunately, our only loss of the month and of last match day was the Torino and Empoli game. Torino scored 2 goals, which were disallowed by VAR before being pegged back against Empoli at the start of the second half. They were unable to salvage the game, and for a win, we did take a £20 hit there. Atalanta played Udinese, and we took over 2.5 goals. Atalanta jumped out to a 2-goal lead, but Gerard Deulofeu's free kick for Udinese managed to give us the win there. It was a spectacular game to watch with 2 high-powered offences, £17 and 80 pence. And finally, on the Monday night, Fiorentina hosted Lazio. We weren't brave enough to back Lazio, and perhaps we should have been, as they did win by 4-0. We laid Fiorentina and picked up our £12.80. So that does mean across our 4 bets we did pick up £26 and 20 pence of profit. If we scroll on up here, we can see in Serie A for this month we're sitting on a healthy 4 units of profit at £79 and 89 pence, and a very respectable 83% win rate. So that's my waffle out of the way. Let's jump into our selections. We start off with the Turin derby as 10th place Torino host 8th place Juventus, and Torino were frustrated last time out in their game against Empoli. They did end up drawing 1 goal apiece. Torino did dominate this game in terms of possession, shots and chances created, but alas, there was no luck there. Torino, on average, are scoring 0.9 goals per season from 1.9 key chances and concede a clip of 1.2 goals per game. So, typically low-scoring affairs when Torino's in action. The away side, Juventus, continued their poor run of form by losing 2-0 against AC Milan in their last match, and even in the midweek in the Champions League, they did lose by 2-0 against Maccabi Haifa. The Old Lady, in fact, have just won 1 of their last 4 Serie A games. But when we do look at Juventus' stats, we can see they score 1.3 goals per game. They are operating at full capacity because they only create 1.4 key chances per 90. Juventus do concede a stunning 1.8 goals per game as well. This is much increased from last year's form of just shy of 1 goal per game of 0.97. And that's been the biggest drop-off that we've seen for quite some time. In this derby, when we look at the head-to-head, Juventus are actually unbeaten in the last 16 encounters against Torino. I think we get decent value with Juventus here away from home. The only thing stopping me from committing to the full stake is their terrible form so far. We're going to be taking Juventus to beat Torino away from home on the first bet for a half stake. Bet number 2 sees 3rd place Lazio hosting 4th place Udinese, and Lazio come into this one on great form, recently beating Fiorentina by 4-0, continuing a winning run of 4 games in a row. They've kept clean sheets in each of these games as well. Statistically, Lazio are scoring 2.3 goals per game from 2.3 key chances, and they do only concede at 0.6 goals per game. Lazio have seen over 2.5 goals in 4 of their last 5. Udinese have played well last time out, and they did pull back a 2-0 deficit against Atalanta to salvage a draw in that particular game. A thoroughly entertaining watch for the neutrals. This draw did end a winning streak of 6 in a row, but they are still unbeaten in 8 games. Statistically, Udinese are scoring 2.1 goals per game from 1.8 key chances and concede a clip of 1.1 goals per game with 3 clean sheets. Udinese have seen over 2.5 goals in each of their last 5 games. When we look at the head-to-head records, Lazio are unbeaten in each of the last 4, with over 2.5 goals coming in 3 of the last 6. This game is looking good for goal involvements, as you would expect. When we average out the goals for and against for both the sides, we can see about 2.9 goals predicted for this game. Therefore, I would like to take over 2.5 goals in a single as these two high-powered offenses clash in our second bet of the episode. Bet number 3 sees Spezia in 15th place hosting 19th place Cremonese. It's been a rough start for both sides. Spezia lost 2-0 against Monza last time out. They've only won one of their last 8 league fixtures. In fact, Spezia are only scoring 0.8 goals per game from one key chance created. Defensively, they have been a letdown, conceding 1.9 goals per game with only a single clean sheet through 9 games. The away side Cremonese have had an even worse start, beaten by Napoli by 4-1 last time out. This is the second time in 3 games in which Cremonese have let 4 goals in. No wins to this point in the season through 9 games, and Cremonese only score 0.8 goals per game from 1.1 key chances created, conceding at 2.1 goals per game with just a single clean sheet. When we look at the head-to-head record, we have to go back to the 2020 season in Serie B, so we do have to take the following with a pinch of salt, but in the 2 games that they played in that season, Spezia took 4 points from Cremonese, averaging 65% possession, outshooting Cremonese by 21-16. In terms of shots on targets, it was 8-2, so 4 times the amount of shots on target. Spezia also created 9 clear goal-scoring opportunities compared to Cremonse's 1, and for those reasons, I think that Spezia might be able to get something from this game. I still need a little bit of convincing in order to lay a full stake on Spezia, so we're going to be taking the home side here for a half stake in bet number 3. Bet number 4 and our final bet of today's episode sees 20th place Sampdoria hosting 6th place Roma. Sampdoria have not made a very good start to the year at all. They're winless through 9 games, but that being said, they did put an end to the 4-game losing streak with their 1-1 draw against Bologna at the weekend. Sampdoria have had a blunt attack, frankly, scoring 0.6 goals per game, but only converting 5% of their goal-scoring opportunities, creating 1.1 key chances per game. Defence is where it's been concerning for the Samps, and they do concede 2 goals per game. The away side, Roma, here are the opposition. They're coming off a 2-1 win against Lecce last time round. Roma score a little bit disappointing 1.3 goals per game. I say disappointing because they created a clip of 3.6 key chances per game, so they do have a lot of potential to score more than they have to this point in the season. You do have to point the finger at Dybala and Tammy Abraham for their poor finishing so far. Roma do also concede 1 goal per game, but they have managed 3 clean sheets in their 9 matches so far. I'm hoping that Roma can bury some of those chances that they do create against a struggling side which can't keep the ball out of the net. I'll take Mourinho's men on the road here for a full stake to wrap up the episode. Let's jump across to the spreadsheet and give you a quick recap of our Serie A bets. Well, there we have it. We have 4 selections for you for this weekend coming up the 15th through to the 17th. Starting things off on the Saturday with the Turin derby, we're going to be taking Juventus to beat Torino. Odds of about 1.54, £10 stake to return 15.40. On the Saturday, we have 2 selections with the 2 o'clock kickoffs. Lazio Udinese over 2.5 goals. At odds of about 3/4, £20 stake to return 15.40. Additionally, Spezia to beat Cremonese at 1.46, £10 stake to return 14.60. And we wrap things up in Italy on the Monday night. Sampdoria hosting Roma. We'll take Roma to win at 0.76, £20 stake to return 15.20. So across our 4 bets this week, we're going to be risking £60 to hopefully pick up £60 and 60p. Will we do so? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to tune into next episode. But if you made it to this point in the video, please leave a like down below. My name's been Nerdy Lover, and as always, have yourself a lovely day.